Well, hello, good people and Eagle fans. Mark Holmes here, and as always, I want to say thank you all for watching, commenting, subscribing, and being part of the Joe Boo Sports Report. Without you guys, as well as you ladies, you know that this literally does not work. Hope everybody's having a great day. I came across a post that was posted by Ernie the Cowboy fan, and on Twitter. Shout out to Ernie the Cowboy fan. And this is interesting because it may be dealing with the Jerry and Stephen Jones psyche. It's actually pretty, it actually seems like it's spot on. We'll call it PIT. PIT. Prior internal trauma. Trending. Jerry Jones and Stephen Jones are dealing with prior internal trauma when it comes to communication between the front office and Cowboys defensive end Micah Parsons and agent David Mulligetta. Sources. Okay, I want to go through this article, and I think we need a psychiatrist. Jerry Jones has had self-doubt when it comes to dealing with decisions related to contract extensions since DeMarcus Ware released back in 2014. So we're going back quite a bit here. Oh, shit! Oh, shit! Ware had an injury-plagued 2013, and the front office believed he could no longer play at an elite level where the Micah Parsons injury comment stemmed from. So in their mind, they're thinking about, just because I pay a guy doesn't mean that he's going to be available. Jerry Jones did say, he missed 6 games last year. I paid Dak Prescott, and he was out. Yeah, and that's the risk that happens in football. I mean, Rashawn Slater got paid, and he's gone for the year. You can't say, well, I'm just not going to pay anybody because they might get injured. That doesn't work either. When Ware was approached to restructure his contract, he declined and was released. Ware signed with the Broncos, where he showcased his ability to still play at an elite level while winning a Super Bowl in 2015. I'm told that this has left Jerry Jones emotionally scarred. Interesting. So he's second-guessing the fact that he paid him, wanted to then reduce the salary and let him go, and then he's gone. So to me, that would be the opposite effect, you would think, with paying Micah, because you've got now the idea of him wanting to be traded and so on and being discontented, right? In which case he would go someplace else and possibly win. Item number 2 is the Randy Gregory situation in 22. The Cowboys thought they had secured Randy Gregory on a 5-year, $70 million contract with $28 million guaranteed, even going as far to announce an agreement publicly. But once Gregory's agent reviewed the final language in the contract, things unraveled. The Cowboys inserted a clause that would allow them to void guaranteed money if Gregory was fined or suspended, a provision the team considered standard, but one that Gregory's agent strongly objected to, feeling that the clause showed a lack of trust after Gregory long rode back from suspensions. His camp backed out of the deal. Within hours, his agent negotiated the same exact 5-year, $70 million contract with the Denver Broncos, the same team that Ware signed, minus the restrictive language. The Cowboys were blindsided, believing that he had locked him up, while Gregory departed became a prime example of how an agent's pushback over contract details can flip a deal on its head. I am told the situation has caused the Joneses to hesitate when it comes to working with Micah Parsons' agent. Wow. Yeah. In other words, we had a deal with Randy Gregory that we thought we had done, $28 million guaranteed, that had language in it that if he gets suspended, we can take the guaranteed money away. That worked great for us. And then when the agent looked at it and said, this is some bullshit, you're being set up, they ended up, how dare they? And you remember, Jerry Jones, El Paso, we put this in all the contracts, this, that, and the other. And this is why you have an agent to double check. if you have nothing to hide, and if you are actually giving as good a contracts as you say, then you would, of course, want to be validated by the agent. Hey, we got nothing to hide. This is a good deal. He should take it. Let your agent prove that it is. But this is where big business, they got all the attorneys, all the money, and the experience and everything else. You are fresh off the salad truck. The story goes on. In all, the Joneses felt comfortable with the deal they believed they secured with Micah Parsons. Parsons, being a responsible businessman, wants his agent involved. The Joneses are dealing with emotional trauma from DeMarcus Ware and Randy Gregory's agent that got involved with Gregory's contract. This is a front office that is deeply troubled emotionally and caused them to conduct business poorly. If that's not hitting the nail on the head, I don't know what is. You keep hearing, I'm not sure who wrote this. Whoever it is, you are spot on. Because you hear Jerry Jones constantly saying over and over again, we had a deal, we had a deal, we had a deal. I looked at Micah and we had a deal. Because he knows that maybe the deal wasn't as good as he thought it was. That maybe, I've got to go back and renegotiate this thing, and it's not going to be as fair for the organization as it was. And maybe this is the reason why Jerry always talks about wanting to see more leaves fall off the tree, because they're gun shy about making contracts and decisions that they think. And the thing about it is, I can't see instances where they have taken their time to try and make a rational decision that it's been beneficial for the team. In essence, the money that you are wasting in getting these things done, you might as well have made the mistake before. The Eagles, they've made mistakes, a lot of mistakes. But they don't sit there and, oh, woe is me, I might get screwed on this contract. They go through and say, we screwed up. Move on. Let's figure out how we can work around the cap hit. The Eagles right now have somewhere in the neighborhood of $50 million in dead money. But they won the Super Bowl. They don't let it prevent them from doing business. And that psyche with Jerry Jones certainly has. All righty, good people. As always, I appreciate you all. I got to get out of here. I got some work I need to go do. And don't forget, tonight, 9 o'clock Eastern, we'll be doing our live stream. And hopefully, we'll get lively. Peace.
I can't stand it anymore. I've got to get out of here. I've got to get out of here.
Calm down. Get a hold of yourself.
Stewardess, please, let me handle this.
I've got to get
Calm down. Now get back to your seat. I'll take care of this. Calm down. Calm down. Get a hold of yourself.
Doctor, you're wanted on the phone. Everything's going to be all right. Please.
Sister, please, I'll handle this.
Yourself.